My husband and I don't get along. We fight a lot. One day, when I was helping my son with his homework, I saw one of his wishes written on it. I wish mother would just disappear. It's scary when she loses her temper in front of dad. My husband's form of emotional manipulation? The silent treatment. At the slightest displeasure, he storms out, disappearing for days or even weeks. I learned to set my own emotions aside, smile, and take care of our son. Then, one day while I was helping Tyler with his homework, I saw his one wish written out. I wish mom would just disappear. She's so scary when she loses it on dad. It was then I finally woke up. Sunday nights are the hardest. Tyler is dragging his feet, crying over homework that's due tomorrow, while Dan is lost in his own world, gaming with his headphones on, utterly indifferent. No one wants anything to do with me. Tyler is glaring at me, teary-eyed from my scolding. Dan is pretending not to notice, clearly annoyed by my presence. I'm left standing by the table, clearing up their plates, whispering to myself that it's all my own fault. But my heart aches. Late at night, Dan slips away to the study, Tyler falls asleep, tear stains on his cheeks, and I find myself in the bathroom, looking at my own weary reflection. This is the third month of Dan's silent treatment. 3 long months, I can hardly remember why we're fighting. Under the same roof, he hasn't said a word to me. I refuse to give in. I'm convinced he's at fault. But sleeplessness nags at me. I walk to Tyler's room to tidy up his backpack. And there, on his desk, I see the new journal I got him. Under rewards, written in that innocent, clumsy handwriting I see. I wish mom would just disappear. I blink, thinking I've read it wrong. I pick up the journal and take it to the living room, reading that line again. I wish mom would just disappear. She's so scary when she yells at dad. She chased him away. I collapse on the couch, numb, feeling an overwhelming, dull ache settle in. The study light flips off as Dan emerges, grinning. The moment he sees me, his usual icy expression returns. He doesn't say a word, just picks up his car keys from the coffee table. As he walks past, I catch a whiff of his cologne Vanilla Musk. It's the same scent I picked out for him in college when we started dating. Back then, he was a tech geek, always in black-framed glasses and a white t-shirt, hopelessly oblivious to style. I remember teasing him, a little cologne goes a long way with girls. He promised he'd keep it because I liked it. And he's used it ever since. The familiar scent stirs memories of who he was, of our better times, and of the family I desperately want to keep whole for Tyler's sake. The pain my son caused me rushes back, and without thinking, I stand up and grab Dan's arm. Dan, please, can we talk? Tears silently slip down my face as I stand behind him. He jerks his arm away. I notice his phone screen. He's on a call. Who is he talking to this late at night, wearing cologne? Dan, are you coming down? I've been craving barbecue all week. A girl's voice comes through, laughing flirtatiously. That soft, sweet tone brings back all the reasons we're in this fight. I turn to leave, but Dan grabs my arm again. With a smirk, he says, beg me, and I'll stay with you and Tyler tonight. Dan has always reveled in the moment I give in, that satisfaction of seeing me break, especially now that some young girl is competing for his attention. The way he stays, like he's doing us a favor. I laughed, but not in amusement. Beg you? As if I made Tyler all by myself. You're his father too, aren't you? Am I the only one responsible for him? Don't you care at all? Do you even realize the toll this is taking on him? Dan's expression hardened, his mouth a thin line. Like I was some madwoman. He grabbed his jacket and slammed the door behind him. Tyler's journal, with its wish for my disappearance, was still lying on the couch. Dan had left his study lights on as usual. He never bothers with issues, either saying something sharp to rile me up or storming out the door, leaving me to pick up the pieces. The slam of the door woke Tyler. Barefoot, he padded out of his room, staring at the direction his dad left. He came over, picked up his journal from the couch, frowning. Mom, why do you always make dad so mad? I didn't answer. Downstairs, the sound of Dan's car engine roared, and the car drove off. Guess I'll be biking Tyler to school again tomorrow. I looked at the journal clenched in his little hand, at the eyes he inherited from his father. For the first time, I realized just how trapped I've been all these years. I managed to make it to my bedroom, collapsed onto the bed. Closing my eyes, I kept seeing, Mom would just disappear. Those 4 words. Honestly, I'd never screamed at him hysterically. In fact, I went out of my way to avoid conflict, humbling myself to keep Dan around for Tyler's sake. I pleaded with Dan to come home, to spend time with his own son. Sleep was impossible. My phone lit up on the nightstand. It was a message from Linda. I heard Dan storm out again. Did you two argue? Are you okay? I met Linda through Craigslist, where I sold handmade crafts after Dan cut off my access to our joint account during one of his silent treatments. I had no income, so I took on small jobs to make ends meet. Eventually, we discovered we were neighbors. She even bought from me, supporting my small business and showing care. As I heard Tyler's door close, I texted back, thanks, Linda. I'm fine. The next morning, I woke up completely drained, my eyes swollen. Dan had returned. The scent of Vanilla Musk was barely there, drowned in alcohol. His gaze lingered on me for a moment, then shifted away. This wasn't the silent treatment. This time, he muttered from the bathroom doorway, scornfully. Don't you think this look is a bit dramatic? He expected me to lash out, to scream and cry so he could leave, feeling justified. But I'd grown tired. I didn't react.